Heil Honey, I'm Home is one of those bizarre TV experiences that feels like it shouldn't exist. Yet somehow it does. A sitcom about Adolf Hitler and Eva Braun living next door to a Jewish couple. It sounds insane. And well, it is. The show was made in 1990 and only aired one episode before being cancelled. The idea was to parody 1950s American sitcoms by imagining Adolf Hitler and Eva Braun as typical suburban couples, dealing with nosy neighbors who are coincidentally Jewish. The intention was to satirize the old way of sitcoms and satirize history and real-world issues, but surprisingly it backfired. Now here's the thing, if you remove the incredibly touchy subject matter, the show has moments where it feels like a legit 50s sitcom parody. The exaggerated performances, the cheesy laugh track, the ridiculous misunderstandings. All feelings that could be a part of a classic show, right? Except you added Hitler. I get what they're going for, satirizing fascism while also having Hitler as a bumbling sitcom character. This isn't an inherently bad idea. If anything, Heil Honey, I'm Home could have been really successful on Adult Swim. They try to make Adolf Hitler come off as a seemingly harmless figure.
On Ribbentrop, on Wednesday, Klaus Katzenjammer. Who's Klaus Katzenjammer?
He's my tailor. You should see the tux, honey.
You see, everyone's more important than Ava. Well, let me tell you something.
The show wasn't really funny. It played everything way too safe, the jokes were mild, the executions felt lazy, and rather than being sharp political satire, it goes for a goofy, awkward sitcom vibe that just so happened to have Adolf Hitler as the main character. It felt like they were trying to do what the producers did with the Springtime for Hitler, but with everything clever or self-awareness that made the producer a classic. It's not surprising that this show was pulled after just one episode. The network executives reportedly freaked out over the backlash over it, some probably before even watching it. The subject matter alone is enough to make people upset, but was it actually offensive? That's the big question. If the show had been funnier and sharper and more clearly satirized, it might have survived, but instead it came off confusing and it felt like it was making a sharp social commentary, rather than fully committing to a parody. It was just there. I don't think Heil Honey, I'm Home was as offensive as people made it out to be, but I also don't think it was funny enough to justify its own existence. Satire can work when it's razor sharp or completely ridiculous. The show tried to walk a line between parody and then satirize, but it just never really worked. There's something to be said about how societies can normalize the worst people, and maybe with better writing the show could have been good. It's too timid to go all in on the satire, and it's too absurd of a concept for people to take it seriously. It's wild, it's a bizarre TV history relic, one that's more interesting for what it tried to do rather than what it actually is.